Alright dear, let us review your first submission of obstacle. This is the first time that you have gone into 3D. Before that we were doing planning on paper. So looking at the first submission, first attempt, it has come out quite good. It looks like in shape. Let me play it and we'll have a look at it. So in the first go you have been able to achieve this much of believability. It's fairly good enough. Let me play it again. Okay, now we are going to talk about small nuances. One thing is that stretch and squash and rotation is yet to be put by you, so I'll not mention that because you know that and you will do it later. What I'm going to point out right now is some improvements in the timing and spacing overall, right? So let's go from the beginning. One thing I would like to mention, that your framing should be good enough that I should be able to see the ball. I'm not able to see at the beginning, so I really don't know how much pace it has actually gained. See, in this type of you can say field, in the field of animation or any art field, we work by our estimations, our artistic eye. We don't work by calculations. So we build estimation by having an overall look and feel of the thing. So how well the ball is going or not depends upon how it started. So if I don't see how it started, I don't actually come to know that is it going believably or not, right? This is how you, while working, also judge. If you want to make a judgment that okay, will it bounce or fast or slow, you will have to get the overall picture of the thing. You will have to see it from the beginning. You will have to play it and get the sense that how it started, how much pace it has gained. Is it justified to go fast or slow? We think like that when we are doing artworks. Anyways, so I'm just having some assumptions that whatever speed it has gained, I'm getting the estimation from the second bounce. Okay, one thing that is very clear is that you are keeping the last spacing just before the hit. The last spacing is too much, so which is making it too fast. I'm rather not able to see the ball when it hits, so just tone down the last spacing. See, you will just not see the ball coming, it's just coming top. Same here, it's slowing out, last spacing is too much. See, even the spacing of going out is more than the spacing of coming in, so that is making slight unnatural movement. This much is the spacing, and then suddenly it's so much less, so it's not gradual the way it should be. It's not gradual slowing, it's abrupt. So you should just cross check yourself by marking your points the way we do arc tracking and see if there is good slow in, slow out or not. This is the most you can say common comment for whole of the animation. Everywhere you have kept the last spacing too high. Here also it is going from here to here. Just imagine one space and then last spacing is this much. How can this be possible? Okay, from here it suddenly looks like this is the spacing and suddenly slows down, then suddenly gains. It's quite irregular. Why is it so? We know how to do it. When this much is the spacing, what we try is we try to keep this spacing consistent, isn't it? So why it is suddenly becoming less, and then suddenly more, then suddenly less, then more? See, something wrong somewhere. Just check, make it uniform, make it approximately the same similar to what the spacing was when it entered, right? Then what is happening? Why is it changing the path here? Do you see this? What's happening? It's going like this, and suddenly path is changing, and it should rather be going straight, and the spacing should be, if this much is the spacing here, now gradually spacing should reduce because of gravity. But if you want to show fairly good amount of speed here, so, and good hit here, so there will be very slight slowing in. But what's happening here? It's going like there, and then this much spacing. That means it's actually slowing in there, applying brakes, which will not give you a very good hit into that plank. And the way it is behaving here, it looks like that there is no plank, and it is just slowing in, slowing out, as if it's coming back due to gravity. And then suddenly we have got this much spacing again. So we know how to slow out the things. Maybe you can be following the rule of halves, but we cannot have this much of spacing at the end. Okay, and then at the end, when it's coming back, we are seeing a uniform spacing almost. Okay, anyways, let's just overlook this. And I think everywhere you now start putting stretch and squash, because it is going to add frames also, because when it touches the ground, squashes and then stretches, there are few extra frames there, which is different from our earlier bouncing ball exercises in which there was no stretch and squash. So here you will be putting touch, then squash, then stretch, so 2-3 frames extra. Okay, here what I feel is, if I play it, let me come again. I just somehow felt that at the end, as if the whole thing has become slower. But let's not do anything about it. First we should correct the last spacing in overall animations, because maybe because of that speed we were having the feeling of overall fastness in the earlier portion, and when it came to its last phase, it slightly looked that overall movement has become slower, as if the gravity has become less. There is slight amount of that feeling, but don't do anything about it at the moment. Just correct the last big spacings and the other things that I've mentioned. Okay, if we have to correct something in this last portion, there is something wrong with the Z graph, that is causing the movement from left to right. There is some kind of non-uniformity. See, it suddenly here it gains pace without any reason, and then suddenly applies brake. And when it touches the wall, we can have a slow in slow out effect. Why is it so? It's not a hit the way it should hit. It is a linear movement of Z, but we don't see linear movement. We are seeing a slow in slow out, as if there is air blowing from the wall. It's going there and then being pushed back. Okay, I think you just make these corrections and add stretch and squash. Will be on the second phase. I think by third phase we will be able to finish this exercise, and you will have good hold on timing and spacing and weight and your stretch and squash, right? All right, take care.